Mudaya Nagara Gramatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashai Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. 1 minute, Nigamata ji, I'll make you co-host. 1 second, make co-host. Yeah. Hare Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. This also. Yeah. Okay. So first we'll go to the third slide because that is a revision. By then others also may join. Yeah. This is the... No. That's it. This is the revision slide. Yes. 7.29 and 7.30. This shows the connectivity. Hare Krishna. Yesterday was a beautiful chapter. That chapter was about Krishna's all energies. That is internal potency, marginal energy, and his external potency. External potency is very, very inferior. And marginal potency is Tatastha Shakti, with which the jivas, the living entities, are being created. And internal potency is the most superior energy of the Lord. Whenever the Lord takes avatar, expansion, he uses that energy. Okay. So yesterday in the last two verses, it was said, Jara Marana Mokshaya. Krishna explained to Arjuna, right? Jara Marana Mokshaya, Mama Shritya Yatantiye. Te Brahma Tadvidi Krishnam. So here, and okay, Adhyatmam Karma Chakinam. So Arjuna heard this. Brahma and Adhyatma. Then he wanted to know more about that because these are, and even before this, there was one verse, it is not given here. That is Sadi Bhutadi, it's given. Sadi Bhutadi Devamam, that's the last verse. Sadi Bhutadi Devamam, Sadi Yajnam Chaye Viduhu. So, in that, what all comes? Adi Bhutam, Adi Devam, Adi Yajnam. So, he wanted to know what are they. We have been hearing that Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Karnodakshay Vishnu, and Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Kshirodakshay Vishnu enters every living entity as the Paramatma. Garbhodakshay Vishnu enters every universe. And there the Lord creates a Brahma. And what is it? Adi Yajnam. Adi Yajnam is the Kshirodakshay Vishnu. He resides in everybody's heart. And Yajnam, why? We also saw that rain is the Ahuti, Yajna Ahuti for the earth. And the grains are the Ahuti for the stomach. And from there, the semens are created. That is the Ahuti for the female. Like that we saw already. So every yajna, that clouds, the rain goes into clouds. So what is that? Water. Evaporation we call it as, but in spiritual world they don't use that word. That is Ahuti for the clouds. So this all happens how? All these things happen with the inferior energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when the creation takes place, so that time, so that is what, when Krishna told yesterday in the 7th chapter, Sadi Bhutadi Devam, there is full consciousness of me who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods. That is Adi Daivam. Adi Daivam is actually, in the 11th chapter, we will see, this is the universal form of the Lord. When the Lord showed the universal form to Arjuna, all the devatas were there. Every Devata was there in the Lord's expansion. I mean, not expansion, universal form. So Krishna tells that the Adi Devam, that is again Krishna's that manifest energy. And all these methods of sacrifice, that is yajna, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. This is the translation I read for the 7.30. So in 8.1, Arjuna is asking Krishna to explain what is Brahman, what is Adhyatmam, what is Adi Daivam, what is Adi Yajnam. And at last, Prayana Kale. What is Prayana Kalam? There is only one destination for our journey. Whole life is the process of journey. That destination is destination at the time of where do we? The soul leaving the body. So that is Prayana Kala. That is the only final journey. Okay, so he wants to know by how at the last moment the soul can reach Lord's abode. So in the 8th chapter, Krishna is going to give the answer how we all can. Arjuna is, we should be very, very, very grateful to Arjuna. Arjuna is asking these kind of questions which are there in everybody's mind. But that is why, actually speaking, there is one thing I heard in one of the lecture. Krishna told Arjuna, Arjuna, you were the nimitta matra, right? I'm using you only as instrument. But actual instrument for this whole Bhagavad Gita, Bhishma Pitama. If Bhishma Pitama had not accepted to fight against Pandavas, Duryodhana would have never accepted for this. Duryodhana, if Bhishma Pitama said no, Duryodhana would have made some other strategy to get them rid of, to get the Pandavas rid of. Since Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya, they all were with the Duryodhana, he was so confident we will win the war. And we also saw that, Bhishma Pitama, next day morning, he promised that when Duryodhana went and told him, you eat our salt, and this is like, what do you call that? Droham, cheating. You are cheating us. So if you want to kill Pandavas, you would have killed them long back. Since you are not doing, I have a doubt. So he got so really, he was very upset. But of course, he is a transcendental body. He is not within this pain and pleasure and all. But still, he said, okay, Duryodhana, if you feel like that, tomorrow, by the end of the day, not a single Pandava will be alive. And he invoked the mantras. See the beauty that Astra and all, they used to tell one mantra. And that's it. After that, whatever is the aim, whatever is the destination, it will happen. So he said, all for 5 Panchabandavas, he invoked 5 arrows, and there also, this Duryodhana is, Tamagunana, he should have let the arrows be Bhishma Vidama only. He thought your mind will change anytime, give it to me. He brought it. And Krishna knew. Krishna sent Arjuna and got it. And Duryodhana gave it because he had already promised Arjuna that once, who is that? Duryodhana. Duryodhana developed a fight with the Gandharvas. That time, Yudhishthira Maharaj told, whatever it is, Arjuna, he is our brother. Go and save him. So Arjuna went and saved Duryodhana from Gandharva's fight. That time Duryodhana told Arjuna, whatever boom you want, like Kaikeyi, it happened with Dasharath. Like that he told, whatever boom you want to give. That time Arjuna said, I don't need anything right now. Whenever I need, I'll give. So that he used. Krishna only told this. Krishna only told, go and ask him for those 5 arrows. In fact, Arjuna was not even aware of all these things. He asked, which arrows, Krishna? Whatever I am telling, go and do. Don't cross question. So he went and bought. Okay, fine. That's what. So he is asking for us. Hare Krishna. So now we will go to the previous slide. It starts from here. What is today? Akshara Brahma. Attaining the Supreme. Yesterday we saw whatever activities we are doing, if those activities are not aimed at for surrendering or at the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, those activities are Shrama Evaihi Kevalam. We saw that verse, you remember? Bhagavatam verse. Shrama Evaihi Kevalam. That was a phrase for yesterday. So many activities we perform. Like, and we saw all this karma, what they do, it is like the ass carrying the load. At the end of the day, there is no use for that. Unless, even if it is pious, even if we are performing all, what do you call that, Vedic, just for one example, I will share. We will finish this lesson. Then in Veda, why these pious activities are at the end, ultimately, if it's not going to help us, I'll share one thing and tell you all. Okay, Akshara Brahma Yoga, attaining the Supreme Person. Arjuna now asked, oh my Lord, Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? Who are the demigods? And that is what Adi Devam, Adi Yajnam, Adi Bhutam. How does this Lord of sacrifice live in the body? That is Kshiro Dakshaya Vishnu. He lives in everybody. Which part does he live? In the Hridayeshu, we know Sarvasya Chagam, Hridi Sannivishto. Madhusudana, he is saying. Why he is saying Madhusudana? No, very, very. I mean, which name to be used is so beautiful. See, there was a demon, Madhusudan, and Krishna killed him. Madhu, demon was annihilated by Krishna, and he was Tamoguni. And Arjuna is telling us, all these kind of tamoguni doubts are entering me. So how you killed this demon, Madhu? Same way, I want you to kill these demons of doubts which are arising in my mind, even after hearing you so many times, even after surrendering to you. So, O Krishna, as you killed that demon, you please kill these tamoguni doubts in my heart. This is what. And how can those engaged in devotional service know that at the time of death they will come to you? Because that is all the game. Right? That Ajamila, you see, did all impious activity. Finally, he reached Lord's abode. So don't think we will do all impious activity and we will reach Lord's abode. There, why he reached, there are so many reasons. Initially, he did lot of pious activity for his Brahmin father. Secondly, he had the Sukriti of great sadhus who came to his home during this Chaturmas. We will not get all those booms, no blessings. So we cannot think. Namo Balad. One day I told you, remember, sometimes people do some mistake, aparad, then they say tomorrow I will chant 2 more extra rounds. Like that we can't do. That, that aparad is not nullified over there. Namo Balad, we can't do that. Same way here. Arjuna is asking these kind of questions. How I can reach you at the end? Prayana kale pichamam. You remember last 2 lines? Prayana kale pichamam te viduryukta chetasaga. So this is a connection between 7th and 8th. So now you see all the questions are answered here very beautifully, and we will see many other things, stories today. Brahman. We all are Brahman. As I told you, what is that? Jiva Prakriti and Jada Prakriti. Jiva Prakriti is eternal. Jada Prakriti is, it can be unmanifest. Adhyatma, control of the body. Who is the one who controls the body? That is the consciousness. What is that? Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke. That is the self. Because that is Adhyatma. That because what controls our mind, or what our mind makes plan for what? The desires which the Jiva creates. Then the mind, intelligence, Then three duyas we have already seen, right? Only the desire is initiated, ignited by the self, and the mind makes plan. The intelligence analyzes and decides about the plan A, plan B, whatever it is. Then the Daivim, that is the Paramatma, gives order to the material Prakriti nature to fulfill our desire. So everything is that only starts from the desire. That is why. Who controls what kind of desire comes? That is why. But here, who is the controller of this body? Finally, the Paramatma has to sanction it. If the Paramatma does not sanction, it will not happen. So, who is the nature of Jiva? Who is the controller of Jiva? Who is the controller of the self? Who is the controller of the individual soul? Paramatma. Then karma is the fruitive activity. Fruitive activities are those activities or pious activities which has been prescribed in Veda. Like say for example, do Sandhya Vandan, do Shraddha ceremony, right? So many activities. I only gave examples. Okay, and these all are fruitive activities. We all may do fruitive activities. Every one of us do fruitive activities. Those who do not do fruitive activities means they are impious. They are atheists. They don't. We do karma for our pleasure. We do karma for satisfying our own desire. But at the same time, our desires are aligned with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Our desires are not against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay? So, whose desires are against, where there is no alignment with the Lord, that is impious activity. They are the atheists. So, above atheists comes the karmis. Then Gyanis, yogis, yoga ladder we have been seeing. Then Adibhuta. Bhuta. Adibhuta is the material nature which has been manifested. So, avyaktam, vyaktam, so many words will come in today's lecture. So, it is better we need to, understand what is it. The manifested material nature, that is known as Prakriti. The unmanifest, there are 3 by 4 is unmanifest. Only 1 by 4 is manifest. The 3 by 4 unmanifest material Prakriti is known as Pradhan. Okay? That is a spiritual world, that is Pradhan. That is not manifest. Okay. Then Adi Daiva. Adi Daiva as a supreme demigod. As I told just now, this Adi Daiva is the universal form of the Lord, in which all the demigods are included. There are so many, 33, Muppatti Mukkodi we say, 33 crore devatas are there. Adi Yajna. This is what the super soul which is residing. Because I told you, remember what we eat is the Yajna, Ahuti, which we give to our stomach. So that is the super soul who is residing. Soul, individual, super soul, none other than the Bhagavan himself. Then, where does this Adhyajna reside? In the heart of all. How to remember Krishna at the time of death? Practice remembrance throughout life. Life is the preparation. Death is the examination. Remember that. If you want to take us the phrase for today, you can always use it. Life is the preparation. Whole life we have to prepare. There's only one exam for us to pass. There is no PhD, MPhil, and whatever you call as graduation, PG, no, undergrad, all those things, no. One exam if we pass, we are done. We don't have to again and again give exam. Students, when we were, those who are aged over here in this platform, we can think of all our examination. Though the stress was not like these days, but still, we all would have got some stress or the other. Again, if we come, again, if we take birth, again, if we come into the circle of vicious circle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, we have to keep on giving exam. Now also, I think, in schools and all, if we don't study well, whole life we will be studying. Every month we have unit tests. Every month, chapter wise, in Bhakti Vaibhav. So before every exam, so much tension. That is what, tension in the sense that this tension is okay. Krishna says anything for my pleasure. Krishna will be very happy if we read Bhagavatam again and again. That's a difference between anxiety and stress. Anxiety is okay. Because if we have to go somewhere, if we have to catch 5 o'clock flight, we will be anxiety previous night. We may be going for Dwarka Yatra, pleasurable, but still that anxiety will be there. No, 5 o'clock flight means 3 o'clock I have to reach the airport. I have to leave home at 2 o'clock. I have to wake up at 1 o'clock, things like that. Correct? That is acceptable, is it not? So, okay. So, how to remember Krishna at the time of death? Anta kale chamamevam, it will come today's verse. That is the only verse. So, whole life we keep preparing. How do we prepare? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is all the preparation. With full heart, every single syllable. Hare Krishna, with a full mind, focus. It's not that easy. Everyone commits aparadh. Okay, that is fine. Again, Krishna says that is fine. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it is okay because the chanting goes through 3 process. One, for initially, what we do, Nama aparadh we do. That is okay. And then slowly, gradually, we will go to Shuddha Nam stage. But this aparadh, because see, mind is uncontrollable. As Arjuna asked day before in the 6th chapter, he said, Chanchalam ki manaha Krishna pramati balavadridam. And Krishna also answered, yes, Arjuna, asamchayam mahabaho. No doubt in it. It is very difficult, but not at all impossible. Practice, abhyasa. Abhyasa yoga yuktena vairagyena cha grahyate. Detachment. And detachment again. Krishna has explained so well. Detachment is not leave everything and go. Detachment is yukta vairagya. Bring everything in use of Krishna, as our Prabhupada did, and not only the expensive car, I have told so many times, even the walkie-talkie, he used that, micro, this thing, whenever he used to go for morning walk, he used to dictate translation. He tried his level best to finish all the translation of Bhagavatam, but still he could not write the translation. So later, last 3 cantos, it was how it was written, and that his disciples heard again and again his lectures, and they wrote. So how much it was useful? Initially nobody would have thought, even I and all would not have thought this laptop, this network, this dongles network, all these things can be used for the pleasure of the Lord. What we are doing here is for the pleasure of the Lord. Hare Krishna. The Supreme Lord said, the indestructible, transcendental, living entity is called Brahman. We all are Brahman. As I told you, even the material nature is also Brahman. Jada Prakriti, that is also Brahman. And his eternal nature is called the self. But Jada Prakriti is annihilated. In the sense, whenever the pralaya takes place, whenever the annihilation takes place, the Jada Prakriti is gone. But new creation comes. But living entities are not like that. Whenever the Brahma's day is over, one day of Brahma, I will tell when the verse tell one more time we will revise. We have already revised in 4th chapter, we have done it, but I will revise. So at the end of the Brahma's day, the annihilation takes place. At the end of Brahma's night, creation takes place. That is his secondary creation. Primary by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu creates the universe, and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu creates the living entities, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu enters them. That is primary creation. But at the end of every day and night, creation and annihilation takes place. Day and end of Brahma. So Brahma's day, we saw that, right? One more time we'll see. Action pertaining to the development of these material bodies is called karma. So whenever the creation takes place, living entities are generated, created rather. God GOD, generator, operator, and destroyer. That we may take it for primary creation. Sarga and Visarga. In Bhagavatam, it's beautifully said. First canto, Sarga. Second canto, Visarga. Then action pertaining to the development of these material bodies. What material bodies we have taken birth in order to perform only karma. So karma we talk about. Whenever we say karma, we only talk about fruitive activities. We don't talk about impious. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, we have seen this. So you see the activities, what all we do. And it is beautifully given here. If you, anybody have, like great, what is that word we said? Trishna, deep desire. If anybody has for the opposite sex, that is not within the prescribed rule, that is not within the peripheral limit of marriage, then that person will take, next yoni will be, he will take the body of the dog. A person who eats any damn thing, he will take the body of pig. Okay, so that is how. And anyone who is enjoying Devatas, that also we can see. Those who are, Yanti Deva Vrata Deva. And tomorrow's chapter you will learn very well. 9.27. Okay. Then whoever is involved in devotion to Krishna, they will go, they will not come back. Naitima Meti Sojuna. They will go back to Krishna's abode. Physical nature is known to be endlessly mutable. The universe is the cosmic form of Supreme Lord Himself. It's a cosmic form. That is what is the universal form. Universal form is wherein all the Devi, Devatas, everything we can see. That is not eternal. Universal form is not eternal. Okay, because the Lord's Supreme Personality of God gets Shyamasundara two-handed and four-handed Vishnu form. That is eternal. But this universal form is not eternal. Means it is temporary. Eternal means ever existing. And generally devotees do not prefer to have the universal form darshan also. And okay, in 11th chapter we'll study about that. When all Krishna has given this universal form darshan, to whom all he had given, that will come in the 11th chapter. And this is a formula to go back to Lord's abode. Antakale cha mameva smaranamiktva kalevaramya prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayagam. Asamshayaka it is. So whoever at the time of death quits this body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. There is no doubt in it. Who at the time of death. Wow. Wow. It's so easy. So Mataji, let us enjoy the life. Akavo piva ash karo. When death comes, we will remember the Lord. I will not touch the book at all. I will not attend school regularly. And at the time of exam, simply I will go and write the exam. Can we pass? Just think of it. So going to the school, taking the help of the book is nothing but the association. Going to temple and take the association of SSS. What is SSS? Taking the association of spiritual master, taking the association of sadhus, taking the association of scriptures. SSS, triple S, association. That is like going to the school and buying the prescribed books and studying. And without that, how can we remember? How can we, if we don't go to school, don't study, don't take the spiritual master's shelter, we can't remember everything. So that is why whole life is the preparation. Death is the examination. If we prepare, what is the first thing to prepare? See, with this Bhakti Lata Beach, you all have Bhakti Lata Beach. Otherwise, you will not be sitting in this platform. That Bhakti Lata Beach is already sown in your heart. Now you have to nurture it to grow. How will you do that? You need to water it every day. How will you water? This Shravanam is watering. Shravanam is watering. And the creeper is growing. It needs a support. Right? Creeper, unless and until the support is there, how will the thing climb? Climber it is. It's a lata. It's a climber. Okay, it has to climb. So that support is nothing but triple S. Then that, what do you call, asangatyaga, etc. All these prajalpa, avoid. What is it? Bhakti vinashyati, atyagara prayasascha, prajalpo niyama agraha, janasang, Janasangasya laulyam cha. Shadbir bhaktir vinashyati. What sangha here? Asanga, asangatyaga. And prajalpa, talking unnecessarily more than what is not only necessary, talking unnecessarily which is not about the Lord. Anything not about the Lord is prajalpa. Avidya. Only about the Lord is vidya. All others are avidya. So what do we have to do? These all are like kutinati. The weeds come, no? Weeds. When we grow plants, weeds come. And we have to pluck it and throw it. So that is what these weeds. We have to pluck them and uproot. Unmulanam. Unmulanam is, remove from the root and throw it. Okay, Hare Krishna. So remember, Antakalecha Mame Vasma. All of you recite in your mind, or you can even unmute and mute, recite along with me. Very, very important. This and next one are both the verses. 8.4 and 5 are extremely important verses. Sorry, 8.5 and 6 are. Antakalecha Mam Yeva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. यः प्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्यत्र असंशयः. Okay, next one. Oh, next one is not given. Oh, it has come. We'll go back to that previous slide later. 8.6. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Okay. By chance, Antakalecha Mamivam, okay, I was in coma. I could not remember, my dear Lord. Accident took place. During that time, how to remember? See here, Bharat Maharaj. Accident took place. That is what the renunciation. His mind was not purified. Without purification of the mind, he took sannyas and he went to the forest. So he got attached to a baby deer. Finally, one accident took place. So suddenly he remembered the deer. And he became deer in the next this thing. But because of his pious activities, what Sukriti he got? He remembered all these verses, what he has learnt. He remembered the Vedic mantras. So the Lord gave one another opportunity to the deer, that means to Bharat Maharaj, to be in forest, in and around nearby the rishis and munis ashram. So that the deer was again and again memorizing, revising these mantras. So obviously, next birth, the soul, when the deer soul left the body, the deer was remembering about all the mantras. So next birth, he came as Jada Bharata. Jada Bharata. Bharat and Jada Bharat. Vast difference. Jada Bharata was literally, Jada word is what? It is no achet type, How much ever you tell, there will be no impact at all. That is what is known as Jada. He was literally like that. When he was born, so he was growing. He had so many brothers, and all his brothers used to consider him as literally, what do you call? Avanti Brahmana. No, Avanti Brahmana, not that. Okay, he was like Avaduta, that we can say. He was like totally Avaduta. Who is Avaduta? With no pleasure, no pain. And what is that? Sukha Dukkha, Chitoshna, and Labha Labha, Jaya Jaya, Chatro Mitra, duality. He did not have any of those things. And his brothers used to give him burnt rice. He never bothered. Whether you give fresh rice or burnt rice, how does it matter to me? I am the soul, I am not the body. Like that. So finally, they chased him out of the house. He went to the forest. What happened there? And that some tribes, they give bali, right, sacrifice, human sacrifice to the yajna. So they were looking for a person. They caught hold of him, they took him, and they decorated him beautifully. They gave him a bath and full scent, etc., new cloth, everything. It's like pleasure. They made him so happy. But he was not. They tried to make. He was equipoised. He was equal during that time also. Next minute, what did they do? After giving whatever he wanted to have, prasadam, etc., everything. Just the sword was near his neck to kill him. That time also he didn't have any pain. He said, okay. That time also, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He was enjoying chanting the name of the Holy Lord. Then Durga Devi got so wild. He's my Lord's devotee. How can you kill him? How is it possible you can kill him? So she came and he annihilated all those people who were there. And finally, okay, last, Vishnu Dutta came and he went, okay, leave that. So, if I'm not able to think of the Lord at the last moment when the soul leaves the body, because the pain will be equal to 10,000 scorpion biting us, not possible to remember. Oh, so Lord, what will happen to me? Don't worry. Yam yam vyapi smarana bhavam. Whatever your heart is thinking means soul is thinking or desiring. Soul is desiring, mind is thinking. Sushma sharir. All are involved in this. Soul desires, mind plans. So whatever the soul desires, immediately, there is no time lap. Mind immediately makes plan. Okay. So whatever you remember, you will become that. Yam yam vyapi, however you remember, tejante ante kalevaram, tam tamevanti kaunteya. Thus, however you want, like that. Sada tad bhava bhavitaka. Whatever state of being one remembers, when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. That is why it was told now in the previous slides, if you remember. Previous slide, what you saw, a person who thinks of having illicit sex, he will take, what is that, dog yoni. Same way eating pig, like that. Okay, this is a beautiful story. अहन्यहनि भूतानि गच्छन्तीह यमालयं शेषस्थावरमिच्छन्ति किम् अक्षरम् अतः परं. Hundreds and thousands of living beings meet death every time, right? But a foolish only thinks that a living being nonetheless, and he himself at the time of deathless, and he does not prepare for the death. What is this? We will not understand. And like that. See, when the Papas were in exile, okay, what happened? They all were feeling so thirsty. So everybody who I think Arjun only wanted to have water. Then Nakul and Sagadev, first Sagadev said, I will go and fetch water. He went to fetch water in a pond. But there they saw Yaksha. Okay, he said, this pond belongs to me. Nobody can take from here water. If at all, okay, you want, I will ask you a question. If you answer correctly, I will allow you to take water. So he asked this question only. What is the most wonderful thing in this world? Wonderful means you can't believe. Wonderful. Didn't know the answer. Then Sahadev didn't come at all. Nakul told, okay. Nakul told Yudhishthir. What happened to Sakadev? I don't know. I will go and see. He went. Same question. He didn't come. Arjun went. Didn't come. Who is that? Our Bhima. Bhima went. He didn't come. Finally, Yudhishthir came to see. He saw all four of them are fainted. Then Yaksha asked the same question. And, he answered correctly. Because Yudhishthir Maharaj is Yamaraj's son, no? So he answered correctly. He knows this. What did he say? The most wonderful thing is, it's Shmashana Vairagya. What do you understand with Shmashana Vairagya? Till the time you are in the Shmashan, or till the time we see a dead body, rather. What do you call that? If somebody passed away, people go Ram Nam Satya, they go along with them, no? So from the time the soul left the body, till the time you come back from the graveyard and take bath, etc., this Vairagya will be there. There are so many types of Falgu, Uttama, Falgu Vairagya, one more. Mm, Yukta Vairagya, Shmashana Vairagya, Stri Vairagya, Dharma, so many Vairagyas are there. Okay, so in that, he said, this is what answer he gives. See, very wonderful thing. All of us know very well that one day or the other, my soul will leave this body. Nothing is permanent. Whatever I have accumulated, I have to leave here and go. After knowing everything, the soul thinks that this material nature is for me to enjoy. Everything for me. People, we use people. Actually, things are to be used and people are to be cherished. Nowadays, it is reverse. People cherish things and use people. Wrong. Okay, so here he answered so beautifully that people think, despite knowing that any time death is standing in front of them, but they live as if they are never going to die. This is the most wonderful thing. The Yaksha got so happy, and he, make all other brothers come alive. Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. This we have already discussed. Whatever Baba. So that is why we should desire some Siddhik Haritoshanam. Our desire should be in what way I can make my Krishna happy. In what way I can, please that super soul who is in me. When will I turn towards the super soul? Two bird story. You remember, no? One bird is turning towards the other side, and this another bird is only wondering how this soul does not know that the hunter is behind and it is enjoying the fruit of the tree. Okay? So, like that. Hare Krishna. Bharat Maharaj story. तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मर युध्य च मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्मां ये वैश्यस्य संशयः संशय. There's no doubt in it. Oh Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time, don't leave anything, sannyasa. Take sannyasa from the attachment to the result of the work. That is again came. At the same time, carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. Remember me and fight. Don't get attached to the result of the fight. With your activities dedicated to me, that is what is a tyaga. What is renunciation is? Dedicate the result of the any karma what you perform to me. So here Krishna is again telling, dedicate the activities to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me. Mam anusmara, smaran. Remember me and start fighting. Then what will happen? You will come to me without any doubt. If you come to me, what will happen? Naiti mameti, so Arjuna, you will never come back. Okay? So see the connection. The Naitima Meti Sojana is in the 4th chapter. 7th, I think mostly 7th or 8th, 9th verse. But here he is saying, 4th chapter you want me to see. I think it should be 7th verse only according to me. 6. Paritranaya Sadhunam is 5th one. Ajopi 6, 7, 8, 9, 9th verse. Okay, Janma Karma Chame Divyam 4.9. Naitma Meti Sojuna. Hare Krishna. This is again. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya gamina paramam purusham divyam yati partanu chintayan. How will we get all these things? Again Krishna is saying 6th chapter, he said Abhyasa yoga yuktena Vairagena Chagrakyate. Here he is again saying, one who meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path. Oh Partha, it is sure of to reach me. So, if we all the time remember, because we don't know, as I keep telling, what is that? Mrityu samharati. Yeah, Mrityu samharati savai mam. That um, I'm not getting the beginning of the verse. Yada samharati chaya. That is every sunrise and every sunset. Udhyamen astama. Like that, beautifully it is said. Every time the sun comes up, one day of our life gets shortened. Is it not? So why delay? Why that Prachina Paris, like Narada Muni give jnana to Prachinabari. And at that time, it's there are 7, 8 verses together. The last verse, tomorrow I'll give that as a phrase. And last line of all the verses are the same. Why again? Why do you want to get again involved in this? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. After doing this, why again you want to do this mean work like that? Okay, he who meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in me. What will happen if the endeavors are undeviated from the path for the pleasure of all the activities are for the pleasure of Samsiddhin Karitoshanam? Then what will happen? Obviously, you will come. That's what I said. No, don't do this, I said. Ajamil. Last minute. So what happened? Last minute he got the Sukriti of the Brahmanas. When his wife was carrying and Ajamil, all the people, village people threw him out. They said for the kind of, because he left his parents, he left his chaste wife, and he ran behind this prostitute. So at the age of 70, when he was 70, his wife was pregnant, the so-called wife. Okay. So who is that? The sadhus who came for the, who came at the time of Chaturmas. One day they took shelter in their home and his wife served them. So while going, they gave the blessing. What blessing they gave? Name your son Narayana. Just because of that, he was able to reach Goloka. So at the time when the Yamadutas were coming, he called his son Narayana. Vishnu Dutas thought he is calling the Lord and they came. So next birth, what happened? Next birth, Lord gave next birth, huh? Remember. Even all the so many asuras he killed, no, he gave them another chance except for Putana, Agasura and one more. Okay? Fine. So here, Ajamil, he cried out Narayana. That is the reason. Hare Krishna. Then you see, there's a fight going on between Yamaduta and Vishnu Duta. Finally, yes, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead had to come over there, then Yamaraj, we know. After that, there is no question of turning back. That's a phrase we use, no question of turning back. So next birth he took in Haridwar and full pious activity, listening, hearing, all hearing. Tachrunu. Yesterday we saw that. You remember? Sunvatam Shakatam Krishna Punyasravana Kirtanam Hridayam Tasya Bhadrani Vidunoti Sugur Sadam Nashtaprayeja Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavadinaishchuki. Then we saw that Tada Tata Rajas Tamachaiva, that the 3 gunas. And one more verse also we saw. One more verse. 5 verses we saw yesterday, right? And that is all about hearing. Okay, anyone wants to read Hare Krishna? You may get bored. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji. Anyone
Hare
wants
Krishna Mataji, may I read?
read?
One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and being transcendental is beyond this material nature.
Hari Bol, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
So wonderful this is, right? He is the oldest. Oldest is not, he is 60 years old. He is always Yam Shyama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam. He looks like 16 years old only. Okay, but why do we call he is the oldest? He is the eternal Parabrahman. We all are Brahman, just now we saw. Arjuna asked, "No, what is Brahman?" Jiva, Prakriti, all are Brahman, he said. But he is Parabrahman. Param Brahma, Parandama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashwatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. Vibhu. Your smallest of small, biggest of big. Vibhu. We are Anu Atma, he is Vibhu Atma. So why then said oldest means time immemorial, ever since this Sarga Visarga are taking place, he is there. See, you see, if a person is not there, how can something be created? So something has been created means before the creation, the creator existed. Very simple logic. Creation, anything we create, there was a creator, that is why it has been created. So Krishna existed before the creation took place. That is why it is oldest. He is the controller. Who is the controller? You see, that again, Radheshyam Prabhu's example only. A player went for practice. Tomorrow is the cricket match, 2020, whatever it is, World Cup. Okay? While practicing, he fell down, had a fracture. Next day morning, he could not go. And the whole, dependency was only on that player. Nothing would be done. He could not do. We are not able to control our own leg. Can we? No. So, how can we say we are the controller? So, the self is not the controller. The super soul, which is in our heart, is the controller. And super soul is none other than the pattern, Bhagavan himself. Achha, this realization I will just tell you. The Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, and Bhagavan realization. Bhagavan shines like the sun and moon. Bhagavan, that his, what do you call, eyes. His eyes are sun and the moon. One sun gives us heat. Without heat, we can't even think of making prasadam. Without moon, we can't think of the, juice which we get from the fruits and vegetables. And they are all the time luminous. They are, which is that 11th chapter only. Arjuna saw the universal form, right? That time he said, "Oh Krishna, I am not able to see your this universal form. From your eyes, I feel thousands of sun's effulgence is coming. Kindly, please show me your 400 form." Like that he says. So, we cannot understand all these things. Brahma. Brahma also meditate upon that Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Shiva also. Yes. Maam upayete punarjanma dukkalayam shashvatam napnuvanti maam mahatatma samsiddhim paramam gataha. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. Very nice verse. See, what is this? Yogis. Yogis, finally we know whether it is Jnani, Karmi, Jnani, Yogi. Devotion is essential. But why it is given? Who are yogis in devotion? There are two types of yogis. One kind of yogi is just they want to, what do you call that? Just now you had in previous siddhis. Smallest of smallest, biggest of biggest we saw, no? So most of the sadhus, they meditate or they samadhi, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. They meditate and they are able to do dhyan, they are able to do samadhi. That is samprajnata samadhi, asampragyata samadhi. Samprajnata is what do you call? In the meditation, when we do dhyana, the mind thinks of some object and then it will roam around that object and suddenly there will be an awareness. No, 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 I am doing meditation. Let me come. We try to focus on something. Again, after some time, the mind will run around. So what happens if the mind runs around, but about which object it is thinking of, if that object is the same? Okay. And sometimes what? Most of the time, the objects are different. Every time the mind runs around. One time the mind runs around morning breakfast. Another time the mind runs around night dinner. So the mind is running around different. That is Samprajnata Samadhi. Then there is no such thing. Only one thing. Okay, we meditated. We thought, like, okay, this trip is going for Ayodhya. I want to go, but my either parents are not allowing, our family condition is not so, like that. We saw, and okay. Mind concentrate. Again, you concentrated. Again, after some time, the mind is running around. But this time, the mind is running around only about Ayodhya trip. Next time, the mind is running around only Ayodhya trip. That is actually dhyan. Okay, beyond that one goes, that is samadhi. In samadhi, they get all this, what is it known as? Siddhis. Siddhis milte hain us समय. What are those siddhis? Examples. Anima, Mahima, Lagima. Lagima is smallest of smallest one becomes. That yesterday's example I told, remember? Vishwamitra, he developed an argument with the Vashishta Muni. Then the Trishanku left with the what do you call that Siddhis, the effect of Siddhis. Vishwamitra created Trishanku, and that soul left the body and it went to the Devaloka. There they didn't give him space, and he created a separate loka for Trishanku and all those things. Like they get the siddhis, I mean to say. Actually speaking, these siddhis, why they use, I'll tell you. There are 8 chakras in our body, right? So finally, and similarly, 10 types of vayus running in our body. Prana is the most important. Prana, apana, udana, vidana, samana. These are the 5 important prana. There are 5 subtle also are there, but for the timing, we'll take these 5 here. The yogi, when he is in meditation, he tries to bring from the whole body all this air into the part of the heart. Then they meditate. They take from the heart that full combined, what do you call, pranavayu, and they take it upwards. This one, Randrena. Randrena means ched karke. They bring it here and they try to open this Brahmanandra. Try to open this and go up. And go till the Bhaktilata Bija, I was saying, no, the creeper has to grow. It has to cross the Brahman effulgence, that is Brahma Jyoti, and it has to reach the Goloka. To that extent, we have to water, take care of the Bhaktilata Bija. Weeds, we have to pluck it. Cell, Prajalpa, we have to Asangatyaga. All those things are the weeds we have to remove. And see that this creeper grows. From here it goes. Again, finally it reaches the Goloka. Same way. Here why we were thinking of that. Yeah, the yogis. Yogis bring the concentrated air from the heart. Then they take it to the upward Brahmanandra. Then they try to leave. This all are, is it possible? Is it possible? By doing this kind of yoga, at the time of soul leaving the body, we are able to take the soul from this part. Not at all possible, right? That is why. Whatever is very easy. You see here, easiest way. This man is climbing with so much difficulty. The door is open. So switch on one elevator, Bhakti Yoga, directly go. That gives the highest perfection. Nothing else. All others are dukkha. How much we can climb the exercise, we may fall down, break our leg, everything. This bhakti is the easiest. One switch and we go over there. That is na apnuvanti mahatmanam samsiddhim paramam gatim. That switch will take directly to the, as I told, the yogis try to take the soul from this Brahmanandra to the Goloka Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. That's the highest perfection of anybody. Param Gati. Paramam Gati. Mam Gatim. To reach me. That is, to reach me is what? To go to Goloka. Okay. From the guy, so many examples are there in Siddhis. That smallest of smallest, Hanuman became Sursa when he had to cross the Lanka. He was expanding, and Sursa was expanding her mouth bigger. Sursa used to expand to that extent. Hanuman used to become bigger than that, bigger than that, bigger than that. Then finally, Hanuman thought she also has something, like her wow, how her promises to what. Nobody should cross this ocean without entering my mouth. I have to respect that living entity also. Same Paramatma is there. So Hanuman thought, okay, let me enter her mouth. So big she created. While entering only, he entered and became the smallest of the smallest, came out. Before she could close her mouth, he was so small, smaller than the minute microorganism we say, no, he came out. She could not even understand. Then she understood, oh, this soul is not the normal soul. Then she, asked forgiveness, everything. She let Hanuman go. Okay, so biggest of biggest, smallest of smallest. These people who have got the siddhis through meditation, they are yogis. But in yoga also, devotion is attached. Why I am saying this? Just we are going to learn about the pure bhakti. Here it is Mishrit Bhakti. Yoga, Bhakti Mishrit Yoga, that is. Same way, Bhakti Mishrit Karma, pious activities. But they align with the Lord. They are not doing for the Lord. Karmis do pious activity, fruitive activity, aligned with the Lord's will. Whatever Lord has told, don't do, they won't do it. That is karmis, fruitive activities. Jnanis also same way. Fine. There are again, we were thinking two kinds of jnanis we saw. One type of jnanis, all the time they are thinking about the Supreme. Finally, jnana is good. That is why Krishna told in yesterday's chapter, Artho Jignasu Artharthi Jnani. Time was over, I could not explain much. Inquisitiveness. Like Sanat Kumara, four Kumaras. Sanat, Sanakadi, Sanadan, Sanat. These four Kumaras were Dhyanis. But when they were traveling through Vaikuntha Loga, what happened? They smelt. There are 2, 3 versions, different versions. Some version says when the fight was going on between them and Jay and Vijay, the Lord came out hearing the sound. Like that, whatever it is. They smelt the Tulsi. That's it. Immediately they became who? Bhaktas. So those jnanis are very good. Some jnani in Siddhis itself, they lose their identity. Like as I told Vishwamitra, so many times he fell down. Urvashi, create a progeny. He got married to her. Ramba, he gave her, what is that called, known as curse. Every time, Vashisha Muni, just now I said Trishanku, every time a Muni gets angry or whatever it is, some impious activity if they do, their tapobal goes down. Like, who is that? Ambarish Maharaj, Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni got so annoyed with Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj is the example for employing all the senses at the service of Krishna. Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindur, right? But just for the sake of breaking the fast on time, just by water, he created a demon. The demon was after Ambarish Maharaj's life. But Ambarish Maharaj was not at all. That is because he was away from this duality. He was having no problem at all. But the Lord, Sudarshan Chakra, had to come to kill that Asura, demon, who was created by Durvasa Muni. Okay. Okay. From the highest planet to the lowest, all are places of misery. We know 3 types of misery, no? Tapatreya. But there is a beautiful sloka, no? Vasudeva sutan devam kamcha chanura mardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam mande jagatgurum. Then there is another word, say another shloka, same way. Vasudeva, that is a tapatrayon. Beginning is not coming. That shloka says, those who surrender to the Vasudeva, he will immediately eradicate one from this free these from these 3 tapatraya, Adibhauti, Adigdaivik, Adhyatmik. This is, yeah, little technical. By human calculation, okay, I'll just tell. It's a purport. 17, 18, 19 translation are there. Actually, just now I told, no, Brahma's day and end. When the Brahma's day comes, when his night ends and day starts, creation takes place. When the day ends, night starts. Then that time, annihilation. Second, Sarga and secondary Sarga and Visarga. So, what is Brahma's life? It is told. Brahma's life is now. Remember, one Chatur Yuga. Sorry, correct. One Chatur Yuga. Divya Yuga. Chatur Yuga is also known as Divya Yuga. 4 times of, okay, we'll go with Kali Yuga. 1 time of Kali Yuga. 4,32,000 plus 2 times of Kali Yuga, 432. That means 1 plus 2, Dwapara Yuga, plus 3 times, 3 more times, Treta Yuga, 1, 2, 3, 6 we add. Then it becomes 6, 1 plus 2 plus 3. Then it is Satya Yuga, for another 4 we add. So 10 times all Dwapara, Kali Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga, all put together one Chatur Yuga, Divya Yuga. So this 10 times. 4 lakh 32 multiply 10, 43 lakh 20,000. Multiply. Okay, no, we don't have to multiply. 1,000 is Brahma's lifetime. So 1 day of Brahma is 4,32,000 years. This is day. Same way night also comes. So whenever 1 day, so many years, right? In the next verse itself, even that Brahma, who lives for so many years, he is also like us only. He also is not a, Mukta Jiva. He is not a Mukta Jiva. He also will come. Chine Punyer Martir Lokam Vishanti. He will come to this Bhuloka as a living entity. It's only a post. Brahma is a post. Indra is a post. A CEO of an organization need not be the same for years to come. One dies or one retires, another comes. Same way. Same way in the spiritual world. I mean, this is not the spiritual world. What do you call? In higher planetary system, Devaloka, all these devatas are only post. Next, Indra is Bali Maharaj. It is written in Bhagavatam. So, when Brahma's days manifest, this multitude of living entities come into being. Did you understand? So, that is for 43 lakh 32,000 years. After that, one Visarga takes place. And same way, Brahma's arrival of the night, they are annihilated. So, day ends, night comes, living entities are annihilated. And till that time, now, they are annihilated, they will remain in Brahma's stomach. And when Brahma's day comes, after these many 43 lakh 20,000 years, when Brahma's day comes, all these living entities will come out. And these living entities will look for the proper, sorry, not proper is not the right word. Proper is not the proper word. Appropriate body. And that soul suddenly enters that body. When it finds appropriate body, the Lord comes. See, this is it. It's a Lord's arrangement. Lord has given this power to Durga Devi. So the Lord will only Sarva Yonisha Kaunteya Murteya Sambhavantyaga Tasam Brahmat Mahad Yonir Agam Bija Prataf Pita. Seed has to be given by the Father. Rest everything except the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all are female. So the Lord gives the seed to Shambhu Tattva. He sees the Shambhu, Shiva, and he gives this seed through Shiva to Durga Devi. And then it is Durga Devi's duty to see the right body fit in this soul into it. That is why whatever we desire, we need to be very, very, very careful. We all have pets, okay? So it's always, I'm not saying we also have, but the thing is, when we have pet, we should be sannyasa. We should not be attached to them. Okay, as Bharat Maharaj did, He had to become a deer. Again and again, the body comes, and this host of beings is active. And again, night falls, O Partha. They all are helplessly dissolved. Hare Krishna. Yes, 8.20. Yet there is another nature. Okay, there is another nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. As I told, unmanifested is Pradhan, Mahatattva. There is one Mahatattva. The Lord glances at Mahatattva. Mahatattva is the, it comes from the Pradhan. From Pradhan, the Mahatattva comes, then the Lord glances the Mahatattva, then the universes are created. So it is only 1/4. The created universes are only 1/4 of the spiritual world. 3/4 of the entire cosmic world. Okay? Hare Krishna. It is the supreme and is never annihilated. So one, what do you call that? Supreme Parabrahman. He is never neither annihilated nor he is never created. He is beyond all these things. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. That is why that Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Even that left out thing is also Purnam. It's not like we have taken from the Purnam, everything has been created. So now the Purnam has got reduced. No, that is a beauty. This is, we are able to see, below the bottommost, you see, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Beside him only, you see, Chirodakshaya Vishnu is there above, in that world only. This is all in the, below the spiritual world. Okay. So Chirodakshaya Vishnu, you can see who is there up. He enters the every single entity of this, every single entity. Mahatattva, you are able to see that Mahatattva comes. Durga Devi is there. So Durga Devi is given instruction, which body to be given. So who creates that? Brahma's navel. Brahma's duty is for creation. Above that, Vaikuntha is there. Above Vaikuntha, Goloka Vrindavana is there. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yeah, this is Krishna's Goloka. There all the, like whatever Krishna's pastimes we read no in Krishna book, all these pastimes keep on going eternally in the spiritual world. That is why Sivera Swarupagohi is Nityara Krishna Dasa. We all should go and we should enjoy that servitorship. Okay. Yeah. For that, here Kulasekara Alvar says, beautiful. What happened? Suddenly it went off. Okay. Are you able to see now? My screen went suddenly.
Yes, Mataji. Able to see the screen.
It's again not coming. I'm trying 1 second. One more time. Yeah. Oh no. What happened? Share. Okay. Kulashekara Alvar told the Supreme Personality of Godhead, "Oh Lord, I am..." You are able to see now?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Previous one. In this, he says, I don't know when the death comes, will I be in a position to remember the Lord or not? I really don't know. Because with that pain, with the karma, with the gunas, with the willpower, so many things are there, right? Paramatma is in our heart. It is always seeing the Atma, self, Jiva, soul. But Paramatma will never interfere. Paramatma will never tell the soul, this is prohibited activity, don't do. Because he has given the free will. So, Kulshivara Alvar is saying, whenever death comes, I don't know whether I will be able to remember you or not. But right now, I am sane, means I am in a conscious position. So why don't you immediately give me that death? So that in its nice condition, when I'm able to remember only, my soul can pass. No. So what he is saying, this body is made up of, according to the Ayurveda, we say no, Vata, Pitta and Vata, Pitta and one more, phlegm, cough, bile. Okay, so he is saying, oh Krishna, please allow my mind to immediately yield to your lotus feet. And immediately what happened? Flower, like just as the flamingo bird enters the lotus flower. When at that moment, my last breath, my throat becomes constricted by action of the bodily humus, like air, bile, and phlegm. Because we don't know, it is said, the soul has to leave from the uh, Brahmandra chakra. Only then we will be able to reach about. If it leaves from the lower portion of our body, what will happen? We'll go to animal kingdom. So that is what he is praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whenever I am in a memorable condition, oh Lord, give me that sukriti of leaving this body so that I can reach your abode. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pratishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Yogi param sthanam. Wow. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing austere sacrifices, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. These all are talking about the what is that? About fruitive activities, but they are pious. They have been prescribed by the Vedas. So a person who accepts the path of devotional service, he is not bereft of, right? That is why I told just now 2 types of jnanis. Even so, in the process of acquiring knowledge of Veda, these jnanis endeavor very hardly to reach our Supreme Personality of Godhead. Same way, Shukamuni, Sukadev Goswami. He was also a jnani because when he was in his mother's womb only, he learnt the Bhagavad Gita. So he left the home and he went as a sannyasi only. After that, he got another opportunity to hear again from his father, Vyasadeva. That hearing. So even before that also he became a bhakta. After that only he went home. When he was going to the forest, the sadhus who were in the forest, they were praising the Lord in the forest. 8 questions Krishna asked: Kim Brahma, Kim Adhyatma, Kim Adideva, Kim Adibhuta, Prayana Kale, how to remember about you, all these questions. Remembering Krishna at the time of death. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mamanusmara Yudhyacha. Okay, you are only, Krishna tells, no, you are only Nimitta Matra. All these people have been killed. He shows the universal form in that, all those people who are standing in front of Arjuna are going as a dead body into Krishna's mouth as the river flows. How fearfully it would have been, right? Remembering Krishna by pure bhakti. Very, very important. Pure bhakti. We didn't discuss because that verse didn't come. Pure bhakti, those who have, they will attain Krishna's abode. They will not come back. Dukkalayam ashashvatam, they will not come back. What is pure bhakti? Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam Anukulya Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. Anya Vilashita Shunyam. No other desire. Zero Anya. Na Anya. Except what? Samsiddhim Haritoshanam. Except pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, no other abhilasha, desire. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karma adi anavritam. Beyond all these karma, one performs karma for the pleasure of the Lord, not for the pleasure of oneself. Then In that bhakti bhav, it is easy to remember the Lord. Anta kale chamam yeva smaranamiktva kalevaram. Eva prayatischa, endeavor. One who keeps on doing akarma. Akarma also at the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. There is no doubt they will reach the Supreme Abode. Right? Hari Hari Bo. Material world versus spiritual world. Parastasmatsu bhavo anya. Material, spiritual world is permanent, material world is a temporary, material world is full of, it is subject to tritapa. Tritapa, adi bhautika, adhyatmika, adi daivik. But the spiritual world is beyond that. Supremacy of pure bhakti. So many definitions are there for pure bhakti. Another pure bhakti is this only. Agaituki apratikata. Yato dharman adokshaje. Savai pumsam paro dharmo. Yato bhaktir adokshaje. Agaituki apratikata. Yatatma suprasidati. Ahaituki apratikata. What is bhakti? Unmotivated service towards the Lord and uninterrupted. This is bhakti. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikesha risikena sevanam. Bhakti uttama. All the time engaged, the soul engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhakti Uttamam. They are not at all bothered about the, Upadi. Sarva Upadi Vinirmuktam. They have taken renunciation from these Upadis. I am a doctor, I am an engineer, I am a PhD holder, I am mother, I am brother, I am sister. All from all these titles. Title, Upadi. They have taken sannyasa. They have freed themselves. Okay, Hare Krishna. Nice chapter, no? But I will tell you, the more, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, the Aishwarya Mata ki jai, Namanisha Prabhu ki jai. The more we get opportunity to share it with the devotees, the more, but there is a slight realization.